So good morning, Speaker Menin. Thank you so much for being here and congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you both this morning.
Yeah, great to have you here. Let's begin with what's really at top of mind for a lot of folks here in New York, the presence of ICE here in the city. I mean, there are heightened tensions everywhere. The protests following those 3 shootings in a 24-hour time span involving federal agents in Minneapolis and then in Portland. So what steps is the city council able to take right now to protect New Yorkers?
Well, first of all, the situation in Minnesota is completely unacceptable. The fact that over 2,000 ICE agents were sent in by the Trump administration is a recipe for disaster. It does not make communities safer. It does not increase public safety. And we saw this with tragic consequences. What happened there? In terms of what we're doing here in New York, we're in constant contact with the NYPD. We want to make sure, of course, that when there's protests, that people are protesting peacefully. We want to make sure that the Trump administration does not send additional ICE agents into New York City in a way that is decreasing public safety. And so we are very laser-like focused on that.
Yeah, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she was just here in New York City yesterday, Speaker, right? Doubling down on those ICE raids. And she even said, especially in sanctuary cities like New York. Now, I spoke to Governor Kathy Hochul about this yesterday, and she said, please leave. We don't need your help. We don't want to make it safe. So to go back to the council power, and what is your response to kind of what Kristi Noem said?
Well, we don't agree with the Homeland Secretary at all on this issue. By sending ICE agents in, it is not making our communities safer. It simply isn't. We have some of the strongest sanctuary cities laws, and honestly, in the country. And the fact, though, that what happened in Minnesota, I mean, sending 2,000 ICE agents in, and they sent in another 100 more ICE agents into Minnesota today. We do not need that. And we do not want that in New York City. And so that is a position of the city council. And we really want to make sure that we are keeping communities safe.
Okay.
All right, well, there's a lot we want to cover with you this morning, so we want to talk to you also about Mayor Mamdani's very ambitious plan of affordability here in the city, especially when it comes to childcare. We saw you at the presser yesterday. The mayor, the governor announcing free universal childcare for 2-year-olds. But what about free childcare for all? I mean, is that even realistic, especially when the president is freezing federal funding?
Yes, the president is freezing federal funding, but what we are doing here in New York City is making sure that we are getting on a path to universal childcare. I was thrilled with the announcement yesterday by the governor and the mayor. City Council has been working on universal childcare for many years. We've passed many bills to make it easier to build childcare facilities. We will continue to do that. We have to make sure that we are making universal childcare reality. And the announcement yesterday was a great step towards having that dream become a reality and making sure, first of all, that there is going to be universal 3K, which is what the governor and the mayor announced yesterday. And then now the focus on 2K. We have to remember that over 300,000 parents left the workforce last year because they could not find affordable and accessible childcare, which costs on average over $21,000 a year. Those parents that left the New York City workforce cost the city about $2.2 billion in lost economic output. So it is not only the right thing to provide universal child care, but it's also fiscally the right thing to do as well. And so the city council will be a strong and stalwart partner in providing universal child care moving forward.
Yeah, and people, you were unanimously voted as speaker, and many are saying that you would be a check on the mayor, right? And you're agreeing with him on the affordability, but there are a couple other issues you disagree with him on. You said you called him to say you didn't like what he did with the anti-Semitism, changing of the definition. And then there's this issue of free buses. And you've been asked this repeatedly, but you haven't really taken a position. Where do you stand on the idea of free buses in New York? Are you for it?
On the issue, first of all, of course, we want to have faster buses. I happen to have the district that has the highest line of bus ridership, the M15, which goes through my district. Of course, we want faster bus lanes. In terms of the free part, obviously, the council is hugely supportive of fair fares. It's something we've prioritized and, quite frankly, I think needs to be expanded. In terms of paying for free buses, again, that is more of an Albany issue. What I'm trying to focus the city council on is where we can be partners in the affordability agenda, lowering skyrocketing healthcare costs, ending the corruption of fraud, waste, abuse at City Hall that has been plagued by no bid contracts that are literally costing the city billions of dollars, procurement reforms. Why does it cost the city parks department $4 million to build a bathroom? That's absurd. And so what we are going to do in the city council is look at areas of the city budget where we can save money and be partners on the affordability agenda.
Yeah, you talk about partnerships, and I know a lot of folks are very curious about what your partnership is going to be like with Mayor Mamdani. I mean, your predecessor, Adrian Adams, had a very contentious relationship with Mayor Adams. So Mayor Mamdani, he's made no apologies for being a progressive socialist, which you are not. So what can we anticipate will be your working relationship with him?
There are obviously going to be areas of great agreement around the affordability agenda. There'll be other areas where the council disagrees.
Like what?
And so again, well, first of all, I just want to say the point of when there are areas of disagreement is to do so in a productive way. I want to end the area of tit for tat, what sort of plagued the last 4 years of the relationship between the council and the mayor, because that does not inure to the benefit of any New Yorker. Yeah. And so where the areas of disagreement are, we will see. But when there are areas of disagreement, we're going to have conversation around it, and we're going to make sure that we are moving the agenda for New Yorkers forward. Again, what we saw in the last 4 years is a lot of back and forth, a lot of tit for tat, as opposed to we want to focus on the substantive issues that make New Yorkers' life better. And I will just say that Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia probably said it best. There's no ideological way to pick up the trash. We want to make sure that city services and city agencies, and I served as commissioner of 3 different agencies, we want to make sure that city services are functioning at the highest level. We will have fulsome oversight over city agencies, and that benefits all New Yorkers because we want to make sure that city agencies are functioning at the highest level. What we saw in the last 4 years in the Adams administration is that city agencies were gutted. Some of them were down 1/3 in terms of employees at city agencies. That means slower trash pickup. It means longer EMS and response emergency times. That's unacceptable, and we're going to change that moving forward. And I know that we can do so by working collaboratively with the next administration.
There you go. All right, we're going to leave it there. It's early in the year, but we have a lot of runway for the year ahead to talk more about so many things. Speaker Menin, thank you for making the time for us this morning.
Thank you so much.